What up, guys? Mad Viking here. It's Saturday night, yeah. Tonight is a big night. I should have made this sooner, but I just got home. The Good Brothers have a pay-per-view tonight. $15. It's on demand in the Fight Network. Talking Shopomania. It's got a bunch of people on it. I don't want to give anything away for those who are going to watch it, like myself. I'll probably do a live reactions video. I don't know. When I go live, it never works out right. The camera or the feed or whatever always cuts out. But be on the lookout for that. I will be watching that. This is a wrestling news blog video, whatever. So I'm going to jump right into it because there's a lot of stuff here. I don't know how much is old and how much is new. But obviously this week in AEW news, if you haven't been paying attention, Matt Cardona showed up. I thought he was signed, but he's not signed. Apparently he's only there for currently right now a 5 appearance deal, including the appearance this week. I would assume there's going to be a Cody fight there. I don't know what this is about because you can't gauge Ryder's appearance or whatever there because there's not fans. It did get a lot of fan interest online. I don't know what the deal is here. Maybe they're just trying to throw him a bone and spark some interest in him on the indie scene. But I mean, there is no indie scene right now. So I don't know what they're doing right now. Maybe they're just testing the waters. But he has shown up. Last week we saw Eddie Kingston arrive. He has been signed to AEW, which is good because they do need some talent. It does suck, though, that, you know, of course, he showed up in front of a non-existent crowd. He got himself into some really good shape. His last run in, I think he's been in NWA, but his last run in Impact, God, he was in horrible shape. So I'm happy for him that he's there. MJ Jenkins made an appearance. Sabi Piscatelli's made an appearance. He actually wrestled on AEW Dark. He looked all right. Caesar Bioni was seen in the crowd one week. So AEW is definitely taking advantage of the recently released talent. Fan pays $400 on Cameo to ask Alexa Bliss out. I don't know, man. Waste of money. Especially the way she basically said nicely, "You're a loser," and no. Jacob Fatu. WWE's been after him for a while now. Re-signs with MLW for 5 years. That's an interesting ordeal. Jacob Fatu, you don't know who that guy is, man. Well, he's in MLW for 5 years, but man, he is impressive. He's going to be a huge star, but I can't believe he signed for 5 years. I would be interested to know what they're paying him. There's been a lot of wrestlers just gone off TV recently. Rumor is Billy Kay and Apollo tested positive for COVID. Rusev recently tested positive for COVID. Supposedly that's what kept him off of Slammiversary. But it's weird because right after Slammiversary, he announced he was retiring from wrestling altogether to become a professional Twitch user, video game, whatever guy on there. And then it came out yesterday that he's banned from Twitch because Lana can't keep her boobs under cover. She has to show them off everywhere she goes. So she got his channel banned. Doesn't mean it's permanent, but whatever. A professional gamer, bro? Really? I have a feeling it's a ploy to get somebody to sign him. Because it is a waste that this dude isn't somewhere, but it's understandable. We're in the middle of COVID crisis 2020. I mean, so we'll have to see how that goes. Tessa Blanchard holding up the Impact heavyweight title for $150,000. Supposedly, she got an address this week to mail it back. It's not a good look, boo, to hold up the title for a company who made you their world champion of the men's division and treated you like a god for the last 3 years. So we'll have to see if she returns the title. Rumor is she's going straight to the WWE. Rumor is she was going to show up at Evolution if they have one. So cross your fingers. I don't know what I think about that. I don't think she's been signed because I heard something today that AEW and WWE are still trying to land her. Let me see. Thunder Rosa challenges Shida Hikura because I guess she made an open challenge a few weeks ago. Thunder Rosa, very talented girl. She's currently the women's champion of NWA Power. There was a rumor NWA was closing, but Billy Corgan came out and said, no, that's false. I know Shakira closed their doors. They are no longer in existence. WWE bought out Evolve. They're now under the WWE banner. What's his name? Leon Ruff from Evolve. They just recently signed him to an NXT contract. He's supposedly the second coming of Jeff Hardy. I haven't seen him wrestle, so I don't know how much of that is true, but he looks like Hamburger from Ring of Honor, so you tell me. Sunny, back in prison for violating her probation and driving without a license. Apparently, there are sickos out there who was making her very famous on Just Fans. She was at one point bragging she was making $100,000 a month, sending nudes and nasty videos to lonely men. Ugh. But she's back in prison. Evil and Sonata of New Japan wins the New Japan Cup and becomes BC Bullet Club's leader, usurping Jay White. And then not only that, he challenged Naito for his titles and beat him. So he's a current Triple Crown champion. He's their cruiserweight and heavyweight champion. So congrats to Evil. I've always liked Evil. I wanted to see him in January when they came here to Florida, but that didn't happen. But obviously Jay got usurped because he's stuck in London. And there's nothing they can do with him. Bullet Club's got to be Bullet Club, so it doesn't mean there won't be some big showdown sometime in the future, but it's still pretty cool that he's now the Bullet Club leader. Anubis Black was murdered for revenge in Mexico City. God. He was actually... I don't remember the story anymore because this one's old. He was murdered by another wrestler for revenge of a possible death of another wrestler. If I remember this right. I'm sure you can Google it. It was a crazy story. SummerSlam may be split into 2 nights. Vince is looking for a new, different location to have SummerSlam. In my last one of these videos like this, I reported that they were looking at having SummerSlam on Hogan's private beach behind his house, which I thought could be interesting, but I didn't think they would ever in a million years be able to pull it off because Hogan's got neighbors. How are you going to stop the public from showing up on that beach? But it would be cool. You could see Hogan and the family sitting on their patio, you know, drinking margaritas or whatever and watching SummerSlam. It would make for an interesting scene. But supposedly they're going to have it on a cruise ship or something. I don't know. If they do that, though, I find it very interesting. If they have it on a cruise ship, they could go out to international waters, meaning they could have fans on the ship. That just hit me. That's what Vince is up to. Because at the end of July, Vince was planning on running all the shows at the Lakeland Civic Center here by my house. Raw, SmackDown, NXT, all of it. And then, of course, COVID kicked back up and that nixed that plan. I was super excited because I'm like, I was going to be at all those damn shows. I don't want to drive to Orlando for NXT, but I'll drive to Lakeland. But it didn't happen. It got nixed. Heath Slater supposedly not offered a new deal with Impact. I don't know if it's a storyline or what. He has to sneak into all the events. I'm pretty sure he's got a job. What is this? Cool. Oh, Adam Cole's 304-day run as NXT World Heavyweight Champion is over. Undisputed Era possibly being called up. And then supposedly this rumor was nicked because half the guys don't want to go, the other half do. They think they'd be lost in the shuffle, which I'm sure they would. Vince isn't going to move up the Undisputed Era and have the Undisputed Era beating everybody up. And that's what's going to ruin it. They've been in NXT for a long time, though. I would hate to see them go, like most of them that I hate to see go, but I mean, at some point you do got to go, guys. WWE, speaking of live events, hopes to have live events back running by the end of September. Leo Rush retiring. Announcement June 25th for his final match, which I believe was announced to be against Joey Janela because they were such bitter rivals in the indie scenes, and they called each other their best match rivals ever. It still sucks. Somebody needs to hire Leo Rush. Other than him kind of having a big mouth, this kid's too young and too talented not to have a job. Impact applying for PP loan to save jobs. Like I said, when I ranted about this a long time ago, you can't keep this up and keep businesses and companies afloat. They're just printing money, which is tanking the economy. Either way, you can't print money and the economy just magically keeps going. We have to open up. People have to. free will. If I want to go to an Impact show, I should be able to go to an Impact show. Okay, let me see. What is this? What? My bad. Yeah, this is making for a great video. All right, what is this? I can't read it. Something about Penelope. WWE NXT Joel Allen. NXT releases Joel Allen and UK Chris Roberts. I don't remember who these guys are, and I can't read what's on top of that. All right, Undertaker retiring. That came up a while ago. How does the guy retire if he just got offered a deal that goes until 2035? So whatever. Heyman fired as head director of Raw. It's supposed to have a lot to do with the ratings and pissing off AJ Styles. Kevin Owens was refusing to work after the newest resurgence of COVID, but he is back. He is the guy responsible for making everybody wear masks now at the center. I should have said this at the beginning. AEW announces Abaddon, Anna Jay, and Ricky Starks as newly signed wrestlers. Fired Pat Buck returning to replace Hayes. There was a lot of speculation behind Hayes' departure. He's not gone from the company. People thought he has COVID. We don't know. Impact Joey Ryan, Jack Gallagher, Jake Chris all fired for the accusations thrown against them. I don't know. Some of these a lot of people lost their jobs. The Joey Ryan thing just sounds like he was a sleazeball that hit on chicks and he got fired for it. I mean, every guy is guilty of that, so I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. Jack Gallagher, I don't know. I'm not going to get into it, but he's gone. WWE Backstage was canceled. What is that? Yeah, Michael Elgin was fired too. He was supposed to win the belt at Slammiversary, so it kind of sucks for him. And his sounded like a bullshit thing too, and Impact let him go. What is that? He's suspended. I don't know. COVID outbreak in the WWE. To 12 people. Renee Young. COVID outbreaks in the WWE. They were supposed to be up to 60 people testing positive. Renee Young and Kyla Braxton were one of them. Kyla Braxton, it's supposedly her second time getting it, but she's fine now, so is Renee Young. Mox was pulled from a couple shows. This is old. From Fyter Fest, he had to quarantine even though he never tested positive. Sarah Logan announced his retirement, then announces a show for some TV outdoor adventure show on some network I never heard of. And then she announced she was pregnant with Rowan's kid. Becky Lynch possibly through with wrestling, never to return because she's getting movie roles and she's looking towards the future. I guess she doesn't want to wrestle anymore. Charlotte Flair taking time off, and then part of that came out because one of her boobs is leaking. She's also taking time off to possibly spark a movie career, which I don't see happening. Shikara shutting down for good. Mike Quackenbush retires as the head trainer at the Monster Factory. WWE offering contracts to the recently released wrestlers for substantially less money, and obviously nobody took the bait. Velveteen Dream possibly to be released, still over that scandal, his nude scandal, whatever thing, but obviously he hasn't been released, so he's still around. They're obviously waiting for the heat to go down, but I don't think there is any heat anymore. It's just they did it. Hulk Hogan hospitalized, but never came out for what? Impact offers the Good Brothers big contracts, which they took. Brian Myers also joined Impact, and recently they announced the birth of their second child, which is another girl, Madison Myers. NXT UK possibly to shut down. And then they made the announcement that maybe in a few months from now, 4, 5, 6 months from now, they'll start running shows. I don't know how a show that isn't profitable except for the pay-per-views can continue to pay people and wrestlers, and it doesn't make money. But I predicted they were going to close when the start of this whole thing came down. There was an Aces and Eights teased reunion, which was supposed to happen at Slammiversary. Never happened. Rusev goes by the name Miro now, which is pointless because he says he's retired. Renee Young had that big announcement, I don't know how many weeks ago. And everybody was speculating that she was cured of COVID or she was pregnant. It was neither, and it was a major disappointment. She announced she's wrote a cookbook. Kira Zane officially done with the WWE. Shame, but WWE has to know that stuff getting into it. She was newly married. The girl is from Japan. I'm sure it's a huge pain in the butt to fly back and forth. She was recently married. They did everything to get her to sign a new contract. They tried to get her to become an ambassador to the WWE. I don't think she's done any of it. She's supposedly going to have like a farewell year going back to Stardom, and then she's going to retire. Rey Mysterio currently working without a contract. I don't know what I think about that. Yeah, it'd be cool for him to go to AEW. I'm sure he wants some more nice retirement money to pat his bank with. It's not like I doubt he would get some good money from AEW. So his son is being used as a chip. From my understanding, he hasn't even trained one single day with his 2.5 years, year and a half, whatever it is, year and a half contract since he came back. His son hasn't even I'm sure he stepped foot into the PC. He hasn't trained there yet. So the WWE is obviously not, and he doesn't even look like he's training. He's just a tall, goofy looking kid. In a year and a half's time, he should have some biceps. He doesn't have anything going. But they're using his kid, obviously, as a blue chip, poker chip, whatever. And that's why he's back on TV all of a sudden, because they're trying to get Ray to resign. But it would be a lot cooler if he went to AEW and retired there. I mean, AJ's talking about it too. He's like, I'll never say never with AEW. He's got his one last deal here with the WWE. Not that they wouldn't re-sign him, but I think at some point he would go back. Not go back. He would go back and join his friends and finish out his career with AEW. I mean, if they were going to pay Edge like the same amount of money that the WWE is paying him, and he would only had to wrestle 7 times, I'm sure they would work the same deal out with AJ. Punk rumors are starting back up because the Fox TV show's over with. At this point, who cares? I'm tired of talking about it. I'm tired of it popping up in the news. If Punk wanted to wrestle, Punk would be wrestling. It came out recently on Conan's podcast where he was at an AEW show and the topic of Punk came up, and somebody told him how, yeah, they were in talks with him, and of course everybody knows how Punk treated the whole situation, claiming like they were grooming him or whatever through text messages when it wasn't the case. They had actual meetings with him face to faces, offered him substantial money, but he wanted double, triple that because he's CM Punk, and they weren't going to do it. I'm sure he wanted what Moxley's getting plus double whatever, and AEW passed. And it doesn't help either that he had 2 matches in UFC and he didn't look good in either of them. And I don't think he's put on any weight since then either. He's just this scrawny dude that can run his mouth. He's picking fights with AJ Styles, The Miz. I think he's thirsty to get back, but like I said, who cares? Come back or don't. Shut up. Stay out of the business. Stay out of the industry. Go write for your comics, whatever you're doing. I was a diehard Punk fan. Still am, but I'm sick of, what's his name? I'm sick of his real, I just can't stand the real guy. I feel like I'm missing stuff here, but I just didn't want to go back and rewatch stuff or research anymore. So anyways, I'm going to just cut it off at here. 19 minutes is good enough. Like I said, tonight is Talkin' Shop-A-Mania, which is supposed to be any minute now. I have it recording. It's the Good Brothers pay-per-view. A lot of stars are going to be there. A lot of names. It looks fun. So I'm going to be watching that here in the next few minutes. Like I said, I'm undecided if I'm going to do a live reactions video or not. If I do, it'll be up in a little bit tonight, later tonight, so be on the lookout for that. Like, subscribe, the notification bell, hit that too. Leave comments, tell me what you think. And I will see you on the next one. Don't know what else to say. Mad Viking out.